Hello, everyone. For the second night running, we have breaking news in the Delphi case. This is breaking news in the last hour. So, if you saw my community post a little while ago, you will know that Judge Francis Gull has fired back. And what you're seeing on your screen is the... does that look blurry to you? It looks blurry to me. Huh. Anyway, what you're seeing on your screen is a little document that Judge Francis Gull released a little while ago. And she's not taking any shit. So I'll read this to you, and then we'll get into the brand new filing, the brand new breaking news filing, who Richard Allen's new attorneys are. So I can see there's a lot of people who are confused. Confused. We'll get there, don't worry. Let's read this. Okay. I think it's blurry because I've just taken this as a screenshot from Twitter. I go back and get all the PDFs like when I've got time to do it. But anyway, so court notes filings by former attorney Rosie on October 25th, 2023. And takes no action. Attorney Rosie withdraw from this matter on October 19th, 2023, and is no longer counsel of record. These filings, therefore, are ordered stricken from the record. Clerk of the court ordered, so remove the pleadings from the electronic case file and the chronological case summary as being filed in error. So, the documents that Rosie filed yesterday, and if you're completely confused, it will mean that you didn't see my live stream from last night, or you didn't try to work it out from my video earlier today, although my video earlier today just directed you to the live stream, so I could kind of just converse a little bit beyond that. And you also haven't seen the multitude of other people who have been live about this in the last 24 hours. There's been quite a few people who have talked about this over the last 24 hours. But I understand that not everybody lives on YouTube, and some people just don't watch live streams at all because they're too long and, just kind of pick things up as they're going along. So, what happened yesterday? And I'll just fire this up so that we can talk about it. Daughter of Scotland, member for 27 months. 27. You must really be my oldest member. You must be. Happy Halloween weekend. Yeah. It's Halloween till when? Tuesday? Okay. Yeah, so for those who don't know what on earth's going on, yesterday, Richard Allen's attorney, Brad Rosie, who had... we heard on the 19th at the hearing that wasn't really a hearing. We heard from Judge Gull on the 19th that both Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rosie had withdrawn. Yesterday, Brad Rosie filed two big documents, and I'm not going to read them all again because I read them both in their entirety in my live stream last night. One's 4 pages, one's 8 pages. So they're not big documents, but like I discussed all around them because there's a lot in them. One of them was that Brad Rosie intended to continue as Richard Allen's attorney because he didn't withdraw. He and Judge Gull said this. Judge Gull said this to the world, to the media at the October 19th hearing. She said this. She said, Andrew Baldwin has withdrawn orally, submitting an oral motion that she has accepted. But Brad Rosie intends to withdraw in writing in a couple of days, after which time she will accept. So he never submitted a written withdrawal. So he technically is, or at least was yesterday, still Richard Allen's attorney. But yeah, so the first document he filed was his willingness to continue. The second document, very inflammatory, but excellent, just so admirable of him, wanting Judge Gull to disqualify herself from the case. So these two new filings, and there was another one, I think there was two. No, there was another one from Rosie as well. Have now been stricken from the record because Judge Gull has ordered it so. So in my community post, which I'll get up, okay. Which was this 49 minutes ago. Things move fast. Things move fast in true crime. So I said this on my community post. Rosie now has two choices. One, lie down and take it, or get Richard Allen to take him on as private counsel. There's nothing preventing Richard Allen from taking Brad Rosie on as private counsel. And if he does, then Judge Gull then has to move to formally disqualify Brad Rosie. And given that Brad Rosie has done absolutely nothing wrong, how on earth could she legally disqualify him? Because we've got to remember this, that it's Andrew Baldwin's office where the leak came from, and it's the leak that's inspired all of this shenanigans. The leaked crime scene photos came out of Andrew Baldwin's office. So, yeah, I guess there's a case against Andrew Baldwin because ultimately he's responsible for what comes out of his office, even if it's not him. Ultimately, it could be argued it's his responsibility. So there is a case against Andrew Baldwin because there's nothing to stop him, Andrew Baldwin, from getting Richard Allen to take him on as private counsel. There's nothing to stop him at the moment. But if the judge then moved to disqualify him, there's more of a case against him. But Rosie has done nothing wrong. She has final say. Yeah. She does. But she has to follow the law. She can't just disqualify an attorney because she doesn't like them. It doesn't work like that. she will have to formally move to disqualify him. Right? And then Brad Rosie, who has done nothing wrong, via Richard Allen, can then appeal it. And then that will then go to a judge higher than Judge Gull. And because Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rosie worked at different offices, completely different firms, they'd just been taken on as co-counsel, you know, working together because this was a big case. So when you've got a big case like a murder case and it's a public defender, it's two public defenders that get employed. Oh, hello. It's two public defenders that get employed, unless you're Brian Koberger, who gets 10, or however many he's got on his books right now. Sharon, member for 12 months. Can't keep up. I know. It's shocking. It's shocking. So look, if both Baldwin and Rosie, keep saying Rosie, got Richard Allen to take them on as private counsel for free because he doesn't have the money, so pro bono, and then Judge Gull moved to disqualify them, they could appeal, or rather Richard Allen could appeal, because it's against his Sixth Amendment right. He has a right to attorneys of his own choice. No. CGK. You need to go back. And look at what's actually happened. Because look, even if the lawyers resigned, listen, CGK, even if the lawyers resigned, they can reinstate themselves as long as the defendant agrees. It's not a, you know, I've withdrawn from the case, therefore I can never work on this case again. Again, it doesn't work like that. The defendant has the ultimate choice here. The defendant has the choice here. So if Richard Allen wants Baldwin and Rosie, even if they've withdrawn under coercion, he can choose to reappoint them. Now, obviously not as public defenders, but as private counsel. Go and check out the law. Go and check out the law on who's in the driving seat here. But the judge can then, if Richard Allen takes on Baldwin and Rosie as private counsel, the judge can then move to disqualify them. As I said, there's more of a case against Baldwin, but there's no case whatsoever against Rosie because nothing improper came out of his office. Not one thing. So if the judge disqualifies them, even though Richard Allen appointed them, Richard Allen then appeals. And that then goes to the higher judge, like a judge above Francis Gull, like Supreme Court, to make a ruling. But like I said, there's more of a case against Baldwin, but absolutely no case against Rosie. So Rosie has a very strong case if Richard Allen takes him on as a private counsel. Okay. It would be a little bit dodgy for Baldwin to do it. Well, not dodgy, but it would be more risky for Baldwin to do it because, you know, it kind of looks bad if he's disqualified, and then it's, you know, and then the Supreme Court rules against him. That looks bad for Baldwin. Yeah, two completely different law firms. This is what people don't think of. I've said this till I'm absolutely blue in the face, totally blue in the face. Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rosie are not joined at the hip. They're not conjoined twins, right? They are completely separate individuals, each with different law firms. They work in different offices. They were appointed together as public defenders for Richard Allen in November 2022 because it's a big case. And when it's a murder case, there's always two public defenders appointed. So Rosie has done nothing wrong. The leak came out of Baldwin's office, not Rosie's office. Rosie couldn't have done anything about that leak because he wasn't there. He didn't work in that office. Wasn't his computers, wasn't his filing cabinets, nothing. He's done nothing wrong. So for her to move to disqualify Rosie is totally out of order. We don't know whether Rosie threatened to quit if Baldwin was removed, and then the judge called his bluff. Not according to the court papers that Rosie filed yesterday. We don't know. But even if he did, he didn't formally withdraw. But even if he did formally withdraw, Richard Allen could still reappoint him. Richard Allen has the option. Richard Allen is in the driving seat. It's Richard Allen whose defenders these people are. So I hope that's clear. Anyway, in a completely new twist of events, shortly after her releasing this 4 lines, she then appointed 2 new lawyers. So these are these 2 guys here. This is Robert Screming, I think we're pronouncing it, and William Liberator. Those are his 2 new lawyers. So 2 attorneys based in Allen County. Now, listen, I've got a problem with this already. Where is Judge Frances Gull's stomping ground? Where is she from? Where is her court? Allen County. So she's appointed 2 attorneys from her stomping ground. Now, normally I wouldn't have a problem with that. Normally, public defenders are appointed from the county in which the judges reside in, where the prosecutors reside. Okay, there's normally no problem with that. But with all these shenanigans that have gone on, right, I smell a rat. That these 2 guys have been appointed as her yes men who'll do anything she wants. So Robert Screming and William Liberator. So Robert Screming and William Liberator. Okay, so we need to look into these two guys, don't we? Well, okay. Let's do that. Robert Screming. Right. Robert Screming Law. Is this him? 24 years experience, former deputy prosecutor, former SWAT narcotics detective. He's a graduate from the National Criminal Defense College. So he's a former deputy prosecutor. And that's not unusual. That's not unusual, right? Some prosecutors go on to become defense lawyers because they can earn more in private practice than working for a state. Okay, all right. So that's him. Experience matters. Robert Screming has been practicing law for 24 years and has litigated over 600 major felony cases, including murder, child molest. I'm sure that should say molestation, domestic battery, and life without parole. Few lawyers have ever tried a murder case, much less obtained multiple not guilty verdicts. Mr. Screming has tried 6 murder cases in the last year, in addition to aggravated battery, domestic violence, child molestation, drug and gun cases. Mr. Screming has also litigated discrimination and personal injury cases in both state and federal court. Mr. Screming is a former deputy prosecutor with the Indianapolis Drugs, Guns and Gangs Unit and a former deputy prosecutor with the Allen County Domestic Violence Unit. In 2017, Mr. Screming was hired as the FCADV Injunction for Protection Attorney for the Florida Keys and spent over a year working in Key West before relocating to Fort Wayne. He is also a graduate of the coveted National Criminal Defense College at Mercer Law School and a member of the Normal Legal Committee. Mr. Screming began his legal career in San Francisco and later practiced in Chicago before relocating to Indiana. He's a former SWAT narcotics detective and has worked in the criminal justice field for 35 years. Looks good, yeah. Looks good, doesn't he? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's carry on here. Oh, he's on Instagram. Here he is. Okay, there he is. He's on Facebook. Does he have reviews? 1 review. Okay. I'll find some reviews here. Robert Cliff Screming. Florida bar. Hold on. Reviews. Oh, I've just been there. The rest are in jail, so no review. Yeah, she did. She picked the local shitbirds. Yeah. Yeah. They're both on LinkedIn. Yeah, they are. Reviews. Oh, nobody reviews him. Is it not something you do? Do you not rate your lawyer? Nobody wants to review this guy. Scrub the reviews, possibly. Yeah, possibly. Yeah. That's probably a good. Yeah. Probably has. Because he would have known. He would have known that everybody would have been on his pages by now. Oh. We've got some reviews here. We've got 2 reviews in Google reviews here. Okay. Oh, Aaron was a very helpful attorney. We don't want Aaron. We want Robert Screming. Not Aaron, whoever he is. Where's the 1-star review? Where's that gone? View all Google reviews. Oh, if I could give him half a star, I would. He took my money and didn't want to fight for me when they calculated my outdate wrong after my sentence. He told me it wasn't his problem. Oh no. Screming cuts wooden runes as a hobby. Well, you don't know. You don't know. Oh, well, Keisha Broxton didn't like him. Alexandra gave him 5 stars, but no, that's probably like his sister or something. All right, so that's Robert. That's Robert. Let's look up William now. William Liberator. So that's what I read. I don't think I was on that screen. But anyway, William Liberator. Oh, he's got a personal Facebook with all his kids on. Can't show that. Doesn't give much away on his LinkedIn. Has he not got his own office? He's obviously a man of few words because he's not as easy to find info about. So this is the Allen County Public Defender's Office. Maybe he doesn't have a private practice. Maybe that's why he doesn't come up. So he's the Chief Public Defender. The Chief Public Defender of Allen County. So he's probably Judge Gull's best friend. Ugh. If he doesn't have a private practice, he won't have reviews, I don't think. Okay, what's this? The lawyer for a Fort Wayne man accused of killing a 5-year-old boy last year wants a judge to consider throwing out the case, arguing in court documents filed today. Prosecutors have been slow to turn over evidence, and that could be used at trial, which is scheduled to start next week. The defense attorney, William Liberator, is ready to go to trial. He wrote in court documents filed in Allen Superior Court. Until he learned this week of evidence prosecutors had not yet turned over as part of the discovery process in which blah, blah, blah. The state's failure to timely provide the discovery in this case constitutes a clear discovery violation. Okay, so he does have a... Maybe that's the Public Defender's Office, though. He really is a man of few words. Does he have a Google review? He won't have if he's... Looks like there aren't many great matches for your search. Oh, that's someone else. Oh, William S. Oh, hold on. Oh, here we are. This man is very rude. I'm not even in trouble. I wrote him in regards to my brother and was very rude and told me I was clueless and never email him again. My brother is being misrepresented by him. Liberator was on suspension for weeks and no one's saying why, but for sure he's misrepresenting my brother. He was very rude and arrogant to me. For Chief Public Defender, who and what has he defended? If I don't know any better, since I'm clueless, I thought he was the chief prosecutor or judge, not someone I would ever want to defend anyone considering his views on the wrong side of the fence for any backbone. Oh, no way. No way. I'm screenshotting that. Don't need a name. Wow. Wow. No way. Very rude, very arrogant, lacks professionalism in every aspect of the word. I was cursed at during my consultation with him. He didn't want to hear any of my ideas and basically let me know that he didn't believe a word I said and that I was guilty and that he didn't want to waste his time. I feel very sorry for the unfortunate person who gets stuck with this arrogant attorney. No way. Oh, sorry. No way. It's Google reviews. That's what it's called. This is bad. This is bad. I feel very sorry for the unfortunate person who gets stuck with this arrogant attorney. Liberator, if you see his name on any of your paperwork, do whatever you can to get a different attorney. I felt like my life was over and I didn't have a fighting chance after I spoke with him. It was a horrible feeling, and the person who is there to help you should not be your worst enemy. Also, in court, this jerk asked the judge, and I quote, "Why do I have to represent him as a public defender? He has 2 luxury vehicles. He should be able to afford a private attorney." That is the most ignorant and unprofessional thing I think I've heard come out of a learned man's mouth. If anybody out there knows who I need to file some kind of grievance with, whether it be Indiana Bar Association or some kind of other organization, let me know. Thank you. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Was appointed as my public defender. I had a hearing set for a date. This guy went behind my back without asking me and filed a motion to the court stating that I was incompetent to stand trial and tried to have me locked in a psych ward. He got my court date moved up a month early by filing that motion and didn't tell me about it. And I missed court because he never told me what he was up to. And now I have an arrest warrant for a failure to appear. He refused to investigate my case. It's a criminal case where I was set up by dirty cops. This asshole is covering up what happened. Terrible attorney and sold out to criminals and crooks. But wow. There we go. So the thing that I feared, the thing that rubbed me up the wrong way, just that gut feeling you get. Crooked judge has appointed a entirely rotten attorney. Wow. These are all getting screenshotted. Biggest bum that ever walked into a courtroom. He might as well work for the prosecutor. Him and his merry gang of office skanks. Rudest people I've ever dealt with. Oh, no way. If anyone else has been represented poorly by this bully, please contact me. You can't railroad anyone else. This is exactly why he has been appointed. But then again, Alexander loves him. Bill Liberator couldn't have been a better attorney at first. I lacked faith and believed what everyone else said. In the end, I got more of my money's worth. I still had to go and do time, but it wasn't as much compared to what it could have been. Great attorney. Okay, so these people got off. You going to load any more or not? No, obviously not. Wow. To get a bad review, you think, all right, okay, you know, this person's pissed off. But they seem very heartfelt to me. And given what my gut is telling me, I don't like that one bit. I do not like that one bit. I'm just going to screenshot that one for the other dude as well. No way. He needs to go fund me for attorney fees. Yeah. Mind you, though, I mean, who's going to set up a GoFundMe for a murder suspect of 2 children? Who's going to put their name to that? I guess Kathy Allen should do it. I think it has to come from his family, honestly. Jane, thank you for the £5. Thank you, thank you. It is very bad, very bad. I feel, look, I feel so sorry for Richard Allen, and I'd never say that. I'd never say that against somebody who a very short time ago I thought was guilty. But the more I've heard over the last month, the more I think, actually, what evidence is there against him, really? Because if Brad Rosie is provided to put his entire reputation on the line by moving to disqualify the judge, entirely admirable, but he does not have to do that. Now, obviously, that has been wiped from the record, but still, he did not have to do that. He could have just walked away thinking, oh, well, good luck to the next defender who gets him because he's as guilty as hell. He's not, has he? He's not, has he? And they've been through the discovery. Exactly, Jackie. Even if he's guilty, he's entitled to a fair trial. Exactly. Even if he's guilty. He should put up his house and hire Rosie. You see, the thing is, you don't know how much of that house is actually owned. Like, if it's mortgaged, there might not be very much equity in it. That's very true, Charlotte. Where are the girls in this disaster? Killed and forgotten. Yeah. But ultimately, it's all about the girls. I know at the moment, it doesn't seem like it. At the moment, it seems like this is the judge versus the attorneys. And in a way it is. But ultimately, it's about the girls. Ultimately, it's about justice for Abby and Liddy. And if the wrong person is convicted, that's not justice. It's not just, oh, convict anybody and close the case. That's not justice, because the real killer goes free. And if Richard Allen is the killer and there's any impropriety in any way, shape or form, and it's not a fair trial, then Richard Allen can appeal and keep this going for years. And at the moment, what we're seeing is the trial, the case set us back to square one, and justice a year, 2 years away. And that's if Allen's guilty. They sold the house for 250k, but don't know what was equity. No. See, if it was heavily mortgaged or there was loans against the house, then there's probably not a great deal of that 250k left. And obviously, Kathy Allen has to live somewhere. So even if they sold that house and she bought another house, you know, she's got to live somewhere. Alan won't last a year. That's what I'm concerned about. That's what I've been concerned about since April. Since it came out about his lack of mental health and the fact that the judge won't allow him to be transferred. That all smelt very fishy to me at the time. It's Ella up raised over 56k on GoFundMe. Kathy Allen should give it a go. Yeah, she should. She really should. She really should. His mother has a house. Well, same thing. You don't know how much of that house is equity. Because even if the mortgage paid, they might have loans against the house. There's all sorts of things that can come into. Can the new lawyer take off where the others left? Yes, technically. They technically can, but there's no way a lawyer is just going to walk into a courtroom in January ready for a trial. You know, at the very least, even if they want to use the same kind of theoretical base and go with the Ordinism stuff, they've still got to learn that case. So it's still gonna mean it's put back. But if they want to take a completely different standpoint, a completely different theoretical base, then they truly are starting from scratch. Thank you, Running German, for the €5 from Germany. Off-topic question: will you do Cold Case Christmas in 2022? Yes, I said this the other day. Yes, I am going to do Cold Case Christmas again this year. I don't know which video I said it in, but I did say it. That yes, I am. Well, you never know. Maybe that's what Kathy Allen will resort to. You never know. I think the confession was made under duress, or there's many people who are in states of mental crisis who confess to things that they didn't do. And we've also got to remember that Elvis Fields also confessed before the girls were even found. Elvis Fields confessed to his sister before the girls were even found. So was Elvis Fields mentally incapacitated and put himself at the murder scene because he was, I don't know, fantasizing? I don't know. But the people who come along and say, yeah, but Richard Allen confessed, yeah, but so did Elvis Fields. So what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that? Because the law did nothing about that. Honestly, no. I don't think she will. I don't think she'll step down. Definitely not now. The only way that this could now be righted is if Richard Allen refuses these two new attorneys, and because they're appointed, right? So he has to have a counsel. Well, no, he can choose to represent himself. He doesn't have to have a counsel, but he can refuse those two lowlifes with the terrible Google reviews and appoint Brad Rosie as private counsel. And then it takes us back to what I said at the beginning, that Judge Gull can then move to disqualify Rosie. Richard Allen can then appeal. And all this, mind you, is delaying the trial. Richard Allen can then appeal, and then whoever the superior judge is over Judge Gull then hears that case and decides. But as Brad Rosie has done absolutely nothing wrong, if that judge rules against Brad Rosie, then there's something wrong there as well. And then I don't know what happens after that. I think you probably get one shot at appealing and then you're out. Exactly, King of Kings. They never even tested Elvis's DNA. Exactly. They may have done now. given that they took Patrick Westfall in for an interview and a 4.5-hour polygraph, they took his DNA. But you can refuse. You know, they have to get a warrant. They have to have probable cause that you did something wrong and get a warrant if you refuse DNA and they really want it. But certainly, up until August, they definitely hadn't tested his DNA. So we wait. So I guess Brad Rosie now has, and I guess he now has the weekend to think about his next move. Unless he already knows what his next move is going to be. And he's already, maybe, let's speculate, he's already squared it with Richard Allen. And they've already got an agreement, a gentleman's agreement that, look, if I agree to represent you pro bono, will you appoint me? And Richard Allen will say yes. And Brad Rosie can march down to the courthouse and basically reappoint himself with a signed statement from Richard Allen. I mean, I think that's what it'll come down to. The ball is firmly in Brad Rosie's court now. Oh, Francis gets a knock at the door. Well, yeah. I hope it's somebody a little bit more serious than trick-or-treaters. It's Goan Ordin is too. It's on my mind. It's on my mind. Why didn't mainstream media go to the police if they were offered the crime scene photos? We don't know that they were, do we? Do we know they were? I know Ashley Banfield kind of implied that they'd seen them and they weren't going to show them. Absolutely. Absolutely. His safety's a concern. Absolutely. You actually need to go and watch my video from yesterday because a search warrant that was issued for Ron Logan's property in March 2017, the warrant including a search of Ron Logan's weapons, didn't say that there was a bullet at the scene. So go and watch that video. Might change your mind. Polygrapher who did Elvis's polygraph suddenly died in an arson fire with her daughter. What? I didn't even know Elvis had done a polygraph because we've never heard from Elvis. We've never spoken to Elvis. So, do you know that person's name? That would be wild. That would be wild. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying that's news to me. Wow. Wow. Hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, she'd either have to be, oh, Richard, I love you so much that I don't care that you murdered 2 children. She'd have to be that kind of psychopathic, or she truly believes he's innocent. Because the thing is, although we've heard that Richard Allen's confessed, we don't know what that actually sounded like. You know, there's a way to say something, you know, completely heartfelt and with all the meaning that you can muster, like, you know, I did this, Kathy, you've got to listen, I did this, I confess, in which case he would then have changed his not guilty plea to guilty, surely. Or it's like, you know, well, they're all telling me that I did it, so I must have done it. You know, that kind of where you doubt yourself because you're so mentally unstable that you don't know what's right and which way's up. That kind of mental instability. So that's technically a confession. Or it's going there and saying, yes, I did this because you feel afraid. Because you've been told to say it. But whichever way, either Kathy Allen's psychopathic, and I don't believe she is, even though I've never spoken to the woman, but it's rare that the partner of an accused murderer who's then confessed stays with them. Normally they divorce them. You know, so that they can regain a semblance of their life. But Kathy Allen hasn't. So that means, well, she believes he's innocent. Well, it is, if you say so, going to be ridiculously easy to prove he wasn't under duress by the guards. Well, how can you, though? How is it ridiculously easy? How is it possible to prove he wasn't under duress? By saying to the guards, oh, did you coerce Richard Allen? And if they say no, you say, oh, okay then. How can you possibly prove that? Oh, Elvis's sister. Right, gotcha. Yeah. Elvis's sister did a polygraph. Yeah. So the polygrapher who did Elvis's sister's polygraph died in an arson attack. No way. I need to know what that person's name is because I need to look into that. If anybody knows that person's name. That does make sense because I didn't know that Elvis. I didn't think Elvis had done a polygraph, but yeah, absolutely. Elvis's sister. The woman that polygraphed the sister is dead, as is a male cop on the case. Where are you getting this information from? Stephanie Thompson. Is that the name of the polygrapher? Stephanie Thompson. Indiana. Or is that the name of the... anyway, I'll have a look. No way. Cause of fire that killed Monticello daughter in February ruled undetermined. Is this the woman? The Indiana Department of Homeland Security says a fire that killed a Twin Lakes high school student and her mother, an Indiana State Police trooper, has been ruled undetermined. Mayor Thompson and her mother, Trooper Stephanie Thompson, died on February 17th after a fire that fully engulfed their home in the 3200 block of North Lake Shore Drive. The scene was thoroughly examined by our investigators, as well as investigators and engineers from the ATF. What's that? I don't know what that stands for. However, due to the house being a total loss, no definitive origin and cause could be identified. Sergeant Thompson worked in several areas of the agencies during her 20-plus year career. Twin Lakes School Corporation shared she was also a former volleyball coach in the district. Mayor was a junior Twin Lanes. Oh. Wow. What year was this? 2022. So it's last year. Who is Elvis? Oh, Barbara, you're gonna have to go back. He's one of the people named in the defence's memorandum as being a suspect. The Flora fires are very shady. I agree with you absolutely, Carmen. That's clearly a work of evil, if that was intentional. Elvis is the king. In it, Christy, way too many coincidences. I can have one coincidence, right? You know, I don't agree when people say there's no such thing as a coincidence in law. Sometimes there is. Sometimes there is. But when you get coincidence after coincidence after coincidence after coincidence, I'm sorry. No way. No way. There's something really off. Really off about this case. Really off. I mean, the thing that really, really concerns me more than anything is the judge continually refusing to move Richard Allen. Because surely it's no skin off her nose where his cell actually is situated. If Cass County can house him and look after him and keep him secure, why does she want to keep him at Westville? What judge would argue that a defendant needs to stay in a maximum security prison for the convicted as opposed to a county jail, which is secure, which has the capacity, which has agreed to take him? What judge would say, oh, no, I'm not going to move him? Surely the judge would say, well, you know, whatever's in the client's best interest or the defendant's best interest. And if the attorneys feel that it's in the defendant's best interest to go to Cass County, then let's take him to Cass County. She's part of it. She is. She is. There's something really wrong here. Listen, I'm not normally a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. There's normally a very down-to-earth and logical explanation for stuff. But this case is beyond any other that I've covered or I can even think about right now. It's definitely the most concerning that I'm covering right now. Oh, yeah, it was. It was a mess, Broken Goth Doll. Before the pics were leaked. Yeah, it was. I think it's just all coming to a head now. But I'll go back to what I said in my videos when they were leaked. Mitch Westerfield, the leaker, friend of Andrew Baldwin. Why would a friend betray you like that? Why would a friend go to your office, you work with them for 7 years, you consider them a personal friend. Why would you go to their office and betray them like that? Why would you do that? Would you do it for money? Would you do it for, I don't know, because you're an Ordinist? Would you do it for your friends? Would you betray one friend for another? Would you do it because you were threatened? That was the very next word that was going to come out of my mouth. Broken goth doll. Or to feel special. Yeah. Threatened, intimidated, paid. Those are my top 3. Well, it's really only 2, isn't it? Being threatened and intimidated, the same thing. The Freemasons. Yeah, we're all talking about Ordinists. What about the Freemasons? Brad Alder's a Freemason. Yeah. Okay. Blackmailed, yeah. It's just sick. And the affidavit, Mitch Westerman filed an affidavit, and that's been sealed. So nobody seemed to have been able to grab that. Because all these things that the judge sealed, you know, people were able to grab them, and they were circulating before the judge had chance to seal them. So like the 136-page memorandum, the affidavits from the guards, the affidavit from the warden, all have been sealed, but they were already out there. But nobody seems to have been able to grab Mitch Westerman's affidavit before it was sealed. Greg Frenzy is dead too, yeah. He was shot though, wasn't he? I think there's... Yeah, Nikki, yeah. Richard Allen didn't... he didn't hang himself. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He didn't. He was shot by someone who looks Ordinist. What, like a big beard? Anything's possible. I'm side-eyeing every single thing that's ever happened to anybody connected to this case now. What? Who's GK? GK killed 2 people who was thought knew too much. AG drew a really interesting drawing that can be found online. I don't know who you're talking about there. Nathaniel Miller. I knew that there'd been a cop, another cop that had died. I didn't know he'd been killed though. Nathaniel Miller. Indiana. There's a few Nathaniel Millers though. Which one is he? Hold on. Guessing this dude. Died 2020. Ah. Yeah, I saw this dude. Nathaniel Miller. I'll spell it right. So this is December 14th, 2020. Delphi police officer has taken his own life sometime the day before. The report was confirmed by the Desader State Police. Sheriff Tob Leesenby was contacted about the incident and said that Miller was a good friend for a number of years. He said Miller was also a part-time process server for the Sheriff's Department. Attempts to contact the Carroll County coroner on Tuesday about the method used to inflict the fatal injury were unsuccessful. Huh. No, we're not sure. We're not sure, Holly. We're not sure about anything anymore. Yeah. The Ordinist theory is not what the defense has just made up. That was in the prosecution's own discovery. That's where they've got it all from. They're covering up something big. They are. Exactly, Lisa. Yeah, people are missing the point. This is not about thinking that Richard Allen is innocent. I mean, I'm leaning that way now, but it doesn't matter whether he's guilty or innocent. The justice process has to be a fair one. You can't have all of these cover-ups and shenanigans for it to be a fair trial. Because if it's not a fair trial, that is not justice. And it's not justice for Abby and Libby if the wrong man goes down for this. By, that would be the ultimate injustice, because it means the real killer is still out there laughing. But if Richard Allen is guilty and the justice process isn't a fair one, it opens up the floor for appeals and for the case to go on for years more. That's not justice either. The scales of justice have to be balanced for a reason. And at the moment, this is by far the most corrupt and troubled case. I can't deal with it. Who judges the judge? Well, the chief judge, the judge of the I don't know what you call it in Indiana. We call it the Supreme Court here in the UK, but I don't know what it's the equivalent of that in Indiana. So the judge above the judge. Because the judge is she's the judge of one county. She's the judge of Allen County. She's working on a Carroll County case because the Carroll County judge recused himself. I mean, we've got to go back and think, well, why did Judge Dina recuse himself? Why did he not want this case? What did he know? And then Judge Frances Gould took it on, even though it's not in her county. So you've got judges above the county judges. Like they're just like trial judges. It's very disturbing. With every passing day, it becomes more and more and more disturbing. No, it doesn't matter. If you could have somebody who killed 10 people already, and then if they're convicted for a crime against your family member, and that's one case that they did not commit, even if they killed 10 previously, it's still not justice because the real killer has gone free. It's a process. Exactly. It's got, it's called due process for a reason. No, it's not made up at all. It's all there in the discovery. There was a comment that I saw before that I wanted to respond to. I can't find it now. Oh, I don't know. There must be. I hope they have the capacity to just be able to step away at least for part of the time. Because this, you know, if you just live in this and breathe in this 24/7, it must be killing them. So I hope that they do have that ability to just be able to move away, you know, temporarily and just shut it out. It did. Came from the FBI. It's all there in the discovery. I can't find that comment now. It was about someone else who was killed, and I just can't find it now. Oh well. I'm still trying, but I just can't find it. Tracy, member for 11 months. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. And if the system was fair, that's what should happen. Why should he be sitting in jail or prison? Why should he be sitting in prison with absolutely no hope of a trial anytime soon? Or at the very least, let him out on bail. At the very least, let him out on bail. Dawn, member for 21 months. Thank you. I've got some really long-term members now. Really long-term. Daughter of Scotland's winning at the moment, though, 27 months. So I don't know if anybody is going to beat that. Oh, he did. Yeah. Yeah. It was the last thing he did before he recused himself. Ugh. Corruption. Ugh. Leaves a very bitter taste. It really does. Very bitter taste. They totally do. Totally. By the looks of it, Rosie put 2 more things on the docket. What? What? Not more? Not more? No way. How is he able to? How is he able to? He's been shut out. He's been banned. No. No. The memorandum, the theory that the defense put forward in the memorandum has come directly from the discovery. Read the memorandum, or go and listen to the many hours of live streams that I did reading through the memorandum. It comes directly from the prosecution's own discovery, based on the work of the FBI Behavioral Sciences Unit. So, no, it's not just a defense document that they've decided to make up on the fly. Easy to say let him out on bail when he's not your neighbour. Well, either that or dismiss the charges without prejudice, like they've done with Barry Morphew. The RA Guilty trolls are out in full force. Look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I understand that it's a difficult thing to get your head round. And up until September, I firmly believed he was the right man, that they got the right man, and that there would be more evidence that has come out after his arrest. And now I'm still not completely saying I think Richard Allen's innocent. I'm still not right there, but I'm erring towards maybe 70-30. 70 being innocent, 30 being guilty. I'm still not completely sold that he's innocent, but I can't ignore or get over all of this corruption. I can't. Whether he could be the guiltiest of the guilty, and I'd still defend him in this instance, because he's got to have a fair trial. There's got to be a due process, or else justice has not been served. And ultimately, that means that the girls have died and their murderer is going to have the last laugh, because he can spin this out for years appealing. But the more comes out, the more that, look, he's actually innocent, that becomes stronger in my mind. The more that comes out. So I would have gone from 99% sure. And, the PCA wasn't the strongest. There wasn't that much evidence. There was the magic bullet, but not much else. But the more you look at just, I was living in hope that it was the right guy, and they had a bunch of evidence from his house and this, that, and the third. But it doesn't appear to be that. It doesn't appear to be the case. So now I'm erring on the strong possibility that he's innocent. So it's getting stronger by the day. If you asked me yesterday, I'd have said 50-50. Now I'm saying 70-30. It's probably going to be 80-20 tomorrow, depending on what else comes out in the next 24 hours. Mind you, it's Saturday tomorrow, so we'll get the weekend off. unless they're all working weekends and all filing things and whatever. So someone said that there was more from Rosie. I'm going to have to go and find it. Or is it somebody who's come in late and we've already discussed it? I don't know, but I'll go and have a look. Oh, they've still not caught Robert Card, have they? Do you know what I'm thinking? And this is just something that I was thinking when I was cleaning up earlier regarding Robert Card. That he's gone and jumped in a river. Because I was thinking, oh, he's going to want suicide by cop because he's a coward, and the cowards always do it that way. But now with his car being found, and no, he wasn't, Stella. No, he wasn't in that house. No, they still not found him. Because we left off last night where I thought, oh well, if I go back and check what happens in another hour, they'll have got him, or they'll have found him dead. Oh no, that was from 7 hours ago. I'm not finding anything new from Rosie here. So that's the order for the new council. What were the explosions heard from the house? I don't know. But he wasn't in that house. They're still looking for him. So he'd left his car by this dock, and he's got a jet ski and a boat. So the boat's there, but what about the jet ski? Flashbangs, okay. Flashbangs from where, though? Like they've been setting off fireworks here today. No, I can't find anything from Rosie. So the last two things I can find are the appointment of the two... The appointment of the two new attorneys, and that 4 lines. Got this, though. This is an order. This is new. The court has received requests for media coverage of the October 31st, 9 a.m. hearing from the following media outlets: News Nation, Law and Crime, Court TV, Channel 13. In light of the unauthorized filming and broadcasting of pre-hearing activities in the courtroom on October 19th, the court denies these requests in full. So, because the cameras were rolling before the hearing, that's the excuse she's making for not having cameras in the court on Tuesday. Okay, then. The only reason why she wanted cameras in the court on the 19th, I'll die on this hill, is because she wanted to publicly, in front of the world, roast Baldwin and Rosie. We're not going to see anything further. I mark my words. We're not going to see anything further from that courtroom unless Judge Frances Gull has some point to make that she wants broadcasting to the world. No, they don't want us to see this travesty, Yaya. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. If she didn't want them to film pre-hearing, all she had to do pre that hearing was to say, you were only filming the hearing. You don't film anything pre-hearing. You only film what's on the record. That's what Judge John Judge said. Judge John Judge in the Koberger case. I couldn't have been more right. I couldn't have been more right in the video that I made today when I said the case in Indiana and the case in Idaho, they're like night and day. The judges are like night and day. Judge John Judge has got my respect for keeping cameras in the courtroom, even though the defense and prosecution wanted them out of the courtroom. He said, no, I want my court to be filmed. However, there's one proviso, was that he didn't want the pre-hearing stuff to be out there. So he said, you only film what's on record. So, you know, you don't film Koberger coming in and all the funny grimaces he makes and all that stuff. You only film what's on the record. So if all she wanted filming on the 19th was what was on the record, she should have said it. And if she didn't say it, then how were they to know that she didn't want it filmed? It's her fault for not being clearer. You can't come along after the fact and tell them that they did something wrong when they didn't know that it was wrong to do it. Because there's plenty of judges that allow the pre-record, you know, the pre-hearing stuff. Plenty of them. Amy Lou, member for 15 months. Thank you, thank you. I'm not sure I'm very level-headed when I get annoyed. I get a little bit ranty. It's a crying shame. How many times do you need to be told? That case can be made for Andrew Baldwin, but not for Brad Rosie. He works in a different firm, a different office. How are you stupid? Are you intentionally pissing me off here? Because Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rosie are not conjoined twins. They don't work in the same office. They don't share the same desk. They work in completely different offices in different firms. Brad Rosie did fuck all. How many times? It's a crying shame, right? Look, it is a crying shame that you're so damn stupid. Now get out of my chat. You're annoying me. So Rosie never went to Baldwin's office and they worked together. It's not Rosie's office. Come on now. It's not Rosie's office. He was not there. He has his own fucking office, man. Jesus Christ. I'm getting pissed off now. Please don't be cruel. Listen, this person has been... Will
you stop raging, please?
No, I won't stop raging. This person has been jibing the whole pissing time. It's time that either people started listening and appreciating that Brad Rosie and Andrew Baldwin are not conjoined twins. They do not work in the same office. Or they're clearly intentionally trolling. In which case, I'm done. In which case, I'm done. It's not cruel to call somebody stupid when we've sat here for an hour and a half and continually saying the same thing over and over and over again. The person either is a troll or has the concentration of a goldfish, like 7 seconds. Or is that a myth? Are people going to tell me that goldfishes have like superior concentration? Rosie did nothing wrong. Rosie did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Andrew Baldwin. Yes, he did. Yes, he was wrong. It was his responsibility to make sure that stuff was put away, that visitors to his office couldn't overlook stuff. It's an understandable oversight. It is. If somebody had worked with me for 7 years, said this in a video the other day, if somebody had worked with me for 7 years and they'd been a personal friend, if they'd come to visit me in my office, would I have locked everything down? No, probably not. Probably not, no. I'd have gone to the toilet or gone and had a word with somebody from 10 minutes and left somebody in my office that I'd worked with for 7 years that I trusted. I would. Would it ultimately be my responsibility if something got stolen? Yes, it would. But it's an understandable oversight. Did he deserve to get in the position he's in? No, I don't think so. No, I don't. But at the same time, I can understand why if he's not in the same position as Rosie, let's put it that way. He doesn't have a strong case if it went up the chain to the super judge, whoever that might be. He doesn't have the same case. Brad Rosie absolutely has the same case, has the superior case, because he did nothing wrong. Nothing. Did nothing wrong. Yeah, Judge Gull was expecting him to withdraw in writing, but he never did. Absolutely. Rosie should have gone to the hearing then. No, he did exactly the right thing. He played it totally cool. I wouldn't have gone to a hearing to be publicly withdrawn. He took the ball and put it in his own court. He didn't give her the opportunity to withdraw him, to fire him. He said, oh, I'll withdraw in writing. So I bet you Eddie Money she was pissed off, because I said yesterday, she looked pissed off. She looked annoyed. She just looked really exasperated. And the reason it was because she didn't get the opportunity to do the public hanging of Baldwin and Rosie that she was looking forward to doing. It would have been an equivalent of a public hanging. What's this? Motion to reconsider motion. Wait, what? So is that the newest? Oh, right. I'm going to have to go and look for that. Calm down. Oh, I'm calm now. I'm calm now. I still reserve the right to call somebody stupid, but I'm calm. Right, I'll go and look. Can somebody email it me, or I'll go and look for it? But I just want to look what's going on with Robert Card, because we're in the middle of a conversation about Robert Card before I got mad. U.S. Marshals and a helicopter overhead on Peter Vere Road in Durham, Maine, as the manhunt for Robert Card continues. Do you know what? I'm going to end up spending my entire Saturday with the flight tracker thing on, following the helicopters. If they don't get him today, I can see that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. There's always one. There's always one. So did they find his jet ski? That was what I was asking before I went off on one. Did they find his jet ski? Good night, Mike. Gotta go. I'm gonna go soon as well. So they've still not got him. All right. Have the new defence filed for appearance yet? I don't know. I don't know. What time is it in Indiana? It's not close of play yet, is it even? I'm still not seeing it. Hold on. No, I'm not going to be able to. Oh, there it is. So can I? Can I copy that message? No. Won't let me copy this message, or else I'd just search this message because I can't find it. I'm getting completely distracted now. Aha, Kohlberger. There's going to be a hearing over the use of investigative genetic genealogy by the FBI. Oh, they're going to do a hearing. Dun, dun, dun. Let's save that. So the judge is just saying that Rosie said he would quit, but he never filed papers to do that. So it's not official. So she would have to dismiss him in the stated legal grounds, it seems. So is it the thing that I read earlier? Are we talking at cross purposes here? Is this a new thing, a brand new thing? Or is it the four lines that I read earlier? This. Is it this? Is it that? Or has there been a new thing after this? Because it's the new thing after this that I can't find. So it's not that thing. Could you email it to me? Because I'm obviously not, I don't know, engaging my brain. Oral statements are also binding. Yeah, but the thing is, though, an attorney can withdraw from a case and then the defendant can choose to reappoint them. So let's say, for example, the attorney and the defendant had a blazing row, right? A blazing row. And the attorney quit and said, I'm withdrawing from your case because you're what's the email? Because you're annoying me, right? I think you're innocent, but you're annoying me. And the attorney filed paperwork and was withdrawn from the case. The defendant and attorney then cooled down, calmed down, and then both agreed to work together again. The defendant can reappoint that attorney. It's not a, one strike and you're out kind of deal. So Richard Allen, the ball is in Richard Allen's court. All this, what Judge Gould's doing now is secondary to what Richard Allen wants. Richard Allen can choose to appoint Brad Rosie, even if he orally withdrew, even if the judge thinks he withdrew. Richard Allen can reappoint him. It's then down to Judge Gould to fire him, disqualify him, but she has to have a grounds to do so. She can't just do it because she doesn't like him, or she doesn't like his theory, or she doesn't like the amount of work that she has to do because they filed thousands of pages of exhibits as receipts for the 136-page memorandum. Richard Allen can choose to rehire Brad Rosie as a private counsellor. And then Brad Rosie can work pro bono, like for nothing, or Richard Allen can try and find the money from somewhere to pay him. That's the ball is firmly in Richard Allen's court, regardless of anything that the judge says. The judge has to have grounds to disqualify him. And whatever she makes up about that, right, I'm just plugging my computer in. I can't multitask. I can't plug a computer in and talk at the same time. Okay. If she does, Richard Allen can then appeal. And if he appeals, it goes to a superior court judge who makes that decision. And absolutely, Richard Allen is guilty, innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. Okay. By not filing the motions under seal, the defence got around the gag order. No. That's not how it works either. No. Unless the entire case is sealed, in which case the all motions and everything, all paperwork is filed under seal. If the case is not sealed, and this case is not sealed, the case was sealed up until the 27th of June. On the 27th of June, the case became unsealed. That's why more than 100 documents got released all at the same time on the 27th of June. The case from then on has not been sealed. So the attorneys are quite right to put their motions online unsealed because the case is unsealed. Unless there's something specific that should be kept confidential. Court documents are not part of the gag order. The gag order is about talking extra to what goes on or what's produced for the court. So, for example, talking to the media, doing a press conference, those kind of things. So, no, you're completely wrong on that. Oh, okay, this. All right. Okay, now I've got a... Thank you for that. Let me just... Why is it not letting me save? Hold on, I'll just screenshot it. Okay. I just basically don't want to show you how many emails I've got. Right, I've got 5 million emails. Okay, so let me come out of that. Share it. Okay, so it's this thing. Where is it now here? Got so many screenshots to sort these out. Okay. Court notes. So this is just court notes. Filing by former Attorney Rosie on October 25th and 26th and takes no action. Attorney Rosie withdrew from this matter on October 19th and is no longer counsel of record. These filings, therefore, are ordered stricken from the record. Court of Court ordered to remove the pleadings from the electronic case file. That is the same as what I read before. It's just worded differently. That what was said before is this. This is what I started with. So, court notes, filings from former attorney Rosie, which are filings, therefore, are ordered stricken from the record. Clerk of court ordered to remove the pleadings from the electronic case file and the chronological case summary. So we don't have anything new. Yeah, it's the same order. Yeah, it's just this is as a like formal document rather than just a court record. How can the trial ever go ahead? I know. How can it? How is it possible? All right, guys, I'm going to go. Actually, I'm just going to. Have you heard about the girl that's missing out of Sullivan County, Tennessee? Her name is Holland Snap. Put a YouTube short out about her earlier on a TikTok. If I make a TikTok, I put it out as a YouTube short, usually. Oh, she's still missing. So she's 19. She's missing. She's been missing. She was last seen on October the 15th in Kingsport. She's 19. She's 4'10", brown hair. We'll find a picture of her. Oh, what? Breaking news. Is that... Oh, no. Somebody's reporting things that happened yesterday. Hold on, I'll have to reshare my screen here. Show you what I'm looking at. So they're in the river. So his car was found there. His boat's there. Things would tell me he's in the river. Staging area set up near the boat ramp where authorities located. So I think they think he's in the river. Oh, a bunch of stuff that I've got piled up in this room has just fallen down for no reason whatsoever. Gravity. Who'd have it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that was the moment when they went in last night to that house. I was thinking it was new footage, but it wasn't. Yeah, so Holland Snap is her name. So 19, 4'10", 110 pounds, brown hair. She was last seen on October the 15th. On, is it on here? Bell Ridge Drive in Kingsport. Another one in Kingsport. Another one in Kingsport. Can we also just say that Layla Santanello is still missing out of Kingsport? Are they connected? I have no idea. She does look younger than 19. She does. She does. What I can't find at the moment is like the backstory. Can't be a coincidence. It's kind of I guess it's a city though. I mean, it's not a huge city, but Belridge Road is 5 miles away from the marble slab. So it's between here and the big town where closest to me. So if someone went missing in this village and then 4 months later someone else went missing in the town, would you think it was a coincidence or not? It's probably a coincidence, but then again, we don't know. I don't know. No, Layla Santanello, she was only tiny as well. 20, same age. 21 now because she's had a birthday, but same age. But we know about Layla's backstory because her family have spoken out now. Whereas with Holland, we've got no idea what her backstory is at the moment. So she was only reported missing on the 22nd of October. She was last seen on the 15th. She was reported on the 22nd, and then it was yesterday when the TBI issued an endangered young adult alert. So the marble slab sounds like a mortuary. Yeah, apparently it's an ice cream shop. But it does, yeah. Anyway, I'll talk about her tomorrow in my video. I'll keep talking about her just to keep her name out there. Also, same with Layla. But for those of you in the area, I know I've got a lot of Tennesseans who follow me. There is a public search for Layla. It's been organised by the private investigator SF Investigates. It's the 11th of November. They want people to join a search in Kingsport for Layla. So he's organising it on Twitter, but he's on other platforms as well. But yeah, I'll talk about her tomorrow. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. There's so many missing people. There really is. So many. All right. So that's it for tonight. It's now going to be 5 o'clock in Delphi, Indiana. So hopefully there aren't going to be any late night filings there. You know, we don't need any more breaking news. It's Friday night. Go and enjoy your weekend, everybody. Thank you, as always, for the donations. Thank you to the mods, as always. Hope you didn't mind me cussing a little bit when I got mad. But anyway, yeah, don't normally cuss on live streams, but yeah, it's got a bit mad. But I'm fine now. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye, folks.